Ever wondered why making money seems like climbing Mount Everest without a guide? It's a question that's crossed nearly everyone's mind at some point. We've all been there, staring at our bank accounts, wondering why it's so darn hard to see those numbers climb. But why is this? Why does making money feel like such an uphill battle? Firstly, one of the main reasons why making money can be so challenging is the need for skills. Just like you can't climb a mountain without knowing how to tie a knot or pitch a tent, you can't make money without having some kind of skill set. Whether it's being able to code a website, cook a gourmet meal, or negotiate a business deal, skills are the tools that help us earn money. And acquiring these skills takes time, effort, and often a fair bit of money itself. Secondly, making money requires a substantial investment of time. Just as a mountain climber spends countless hours training and preparing before they even set foot on the mountain, making money often involves long hours of work, planning, and preparation. And let's not forget, time is a resource that, unlike money, we can't get back. Thirdly, there's the effort. Climbing a mountain is hard work. It's physically and mentally exhausting. And guess what? So is making money. It requires mental stamina, determination, and a whole lot of grit. Lastly, let's talk about capital. Just as a mountaineer needs gear, supplies, and sometimes a team to reach the summit, making money often requires some initial capital. Whether it's the money to start a business, invest in stocks, or even just to get an education, capital is often a big hurdle when it comes to making money. But here's the thing. Just like there are different routes to the summit of Mount Everest, there are different methods of making money. Each has its own set of challenges, its own peaks and valleys, and its own rewards. Now let's delve into these different methods, shall we? Consider the traditional job route, the 9-5 grind as some call it. This is the path most tread upon, a well-worn trail lined with cubicles and coffee breaks. But don't let the familiarity fool you. It's not a leisurely walk in the park. It's a race. A race against hundreds, sometimes thousands of equally qualified individuals, all vying for the same positions. Competition is fierce in this arena, and the stakes are high. Your livelihood, your ability to earn a living, hinges on your ability to outperform, outshine, and outlast your peers. And let's not forget about the salary cap, a glass ceiling of sorts. No matter how hard you work, how many extra hours you put in, there's a limit to how much you can earn in a traditional job. Time, too, is a precious commodity. The traditional job route demands a significant portion of your day, leaving little room for personal pursuits or family time. A 40-hour work week is considered the norm, but many find themselves clocking in far more than that. And then there's the question of job security. In today's rapidly changing world, job security is more of a myth than a guarantee. To stay relevant, one must continuously learn, adapt, and evolve. The corporate ladder is not a static structure, it's a dynamic, ever-changing entity. Climbing it requires resilience, adaptability, and a fair bit of strategic maneuvering. But here's the kicker. Even after surmounting all these challenges, after years of dedication and hard work, there's no guarantee of success. The traditional job route is a gamble, a roll of the dice. You could end up on top, or you could find yourself stuck in the middle, trapped in the monotony of the daily grind. So that's the traditional job route, a path many of us are familiar with, but it's not the only one. Then, there's the entrepreneurial route, the path of creating something new and unique. The allure of entrepreneurship is undeniable. It's about taking charge of your destiny, innovating, and potentially reaping significant rewards. But like any road less traveled, it's fraught with challenges. First, let's talk about financial risk. Starting a business often requires a substantial initial investment. Whether it's your savings, a bank loan, or capital from investors, there's always a risk. And the pressure of returning that investment can be immense. Next, there's the uncertainty of the market. You could have the most innovative product or service, but if the market isn't ready for it, or if there's too much competition, your venture could fail. Market research can help mitigate this risk, but it can't eliminate it. And then there's the need for constant innovation. In a world where technology and trends change at a rapid pace, entrepreneurs need to stay ahead of the curve. You can't just create a product or service, launch it, and sit back. You need to constantly refine and reinvent to stay relevant. But let's not forget the potential rewards of successful entrepreneurship. There's the financial gain, of course, but there's also the satisfaction of creating something new, of making a difference, of leaving a legacy. Yet, it's important to remember that for every successful entrepreneur, there are many more who fail. The Small Business Association estimates that only about half of all new businesses survive 5 years or more, and only about 1/3 survive 10 years or more. So, Entrepreneurship isn't a guaranteed path to wealth. It's a challenging journey that requires tenacity, resilience, and a certain amount of calculated risk-taking. It's about taking a chance on yourself, your idea, and your ability to make it work. The entrepreneurial route is certainly not for the faint-hearted. Now let's move on to another method. How about the investment route, where your money works for you? Let's dive right into it. Investing, on the surface, appears as a promising avenue to wealth. It's a world where your money, instead of sitting idly in your bank account, can be put to work, potentially multiplying over time. However, it's not quite as simple as it sounds. Investing requires a significant initial capital. You need money to make money, as they say. It's not a route everyone can afford to take, especially if you're starting out with little to no savings. Next up, there's the understanding of financial markets. This is a complex landscape filled with terms and concepts that might as well be a foreign language to the uninitiated. Stocks, bonds, ETFs, mutual funds, dividends, capital gains, bear markets, bull markets. These aren't just jargon, they are the ABCs of investing. Without a solid grasp of these concepts, navigating the investment world becomes a risky gamble. And speaking of risk, let's talk about risk tolerance. Investing is inherently risky. The markets are unpredictable, influenced by a myriad of factors from geopolitical events to corporate earnings reports. One day you might be riding high, the next you could be watching your investment shrink. It takes a certain level of fortitude and a willingness to potentially lose your initial investment. Now, this might sound daunting, and it is. But it's important to remember that despite these challenges, smart investing can yield significant returns. It's a game of strategy, of understanding when to hold, when to fold, and when to run. It's about making calculated decisions based on research and analysis, not on emotions or hunches. And let's not forget patience. Investing isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a long-term game. It's about planting seeds and waiting for them to grow, nurturing them with careful decisions and calculated risks. The investment route, a game of strategy and patience. Let's summarize what we've discussed. So, we've explored the traditional job, entrepreneurial, and investment routes to making money. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've uncovered. The traditional job route, while seemingly the safest option, has its own set of challenges. You're often trading time for money, and climbing the corporate ladder can be a slow and competitive process. Job security isn't always guaranteed, and the path to financial freedom might seem like a distant dream. On the other hand, the entrepreneurial route offers the allure of being your own boss, creating something from scratch, and reaping the rewards of your hard work. However, it's a path lined with uncertainty and risk. Many startups fail within the first few years, and the journey to success can be a roller coaster of highs and lows. Then, there's the investment route. This path can accelerate your wealth creation, but it's not without its pitfalls. Investments can go south, markets can crash, and without proper knowledge and understanding, you could lose more than you gain. Each route has its pros and cons, and it's important to understand that there are no shortcuts to making money. The path to wealth requires effort, patience, and a willingness to learn and adapt. It demands resilience in the face of setbacks, and the courage to take calculated risks. Even more so, it requires an understanding of your own strengths, weaknesses, and passions. What works for one person may not work for another. It's not just about choosing a path, but about finding the one that aligns with your skills, values, and long-term goals. In the end, the difficulty of making money is not just about the method you choose, but how you navigate the challenges along the way. Remember, the journey to wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep striving for your goals.